Hey guys, I'm here with Hailey and Esther, and we're here to guide you through the French Revolution in plain English.
France in the 1780s, when Louis XVI was the king, the first and second estate, royals, nobles, and clergy paid no taxes, and was living off the taxes that the peasants, the third estate, paid. Equality did not seem to exist.
576 members from the Third Estate were locked out from the estate's general meeting on June 20th, 1789. Fearing a royal attack, they quickly made a makeshift meeting in a tennis court near Versailles. They declared themselves as the National Assembly and took an oath that they would not disband until a new constitution was drafted. Their main goal was to limit the potentials of the king. The oath was both a revolutionary act and an assertion of equal power between the estates. This forced the clergy and nobles to join the Third Estate in the National Assembly.
Following the oath, the peasants were still treated like dirt. Wanting to threaten the nobles, they needed weapons and skilled thinkers to help them. Their target was the Fortress Bastille, the place where weapons and a few Third Estate prisoners were kept. The peasants grabbed any weapon-like tools to attack their target. On July 14th, a crowd of 8,000 peasants stormed to the fortress of Bastille, which was used by the king as a prison. Bernard Wren, the military officer, showed the crowd the cannons were not built for defense. Confidence levels increased between the crowd. The crowd finally captured the Bastille and cut off Bernard Wren's head, then stuck the head on the pike and marched around the streets. This was definitely an eye-opening event for the First and Second Estate.
The first step towards the Constitution was the Declaration of the Rights of Men on August 27, 1789. Peasants demanded for the freedom of religion, speech, of the press, right to a fair trial, right of the people to create laws, liberty, equality, and fraternity. This leads to many changes happening in the government. France became a limited monarchy. The king became merely the head of the state. All of the laws were created by the Legislative Assembly, which was the new government of France, and feudalism was abolished. However, this new form of government didn't work out really well, since the prices of the food all went up by 50% and the peasants started to starve once again.
October 4th, 1789, a grim day, 7,000 women marched in the rain to Paris, Versailles, demanding for King Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette for bread. This event is known as the March on Versailles. Peasants chanted something like, "Bread, bread," or "Off with her head."
The woman's main focus was almost solely on Marie Antoinette. She was the most ignorant queen who did not care about peasants' afflictions and starvations. Peasants starved while she had a herd of sheep just for her own entertainment. Her misattributed and careless response to them enraged them even more. 20,000 National Guards were protecting the royal family, but that didn't stop the angry mob of 7,000 women managing to break into the palace to search for the queen.
Much of the crowd was able to go into the queen's quarters. Marie Antoinette managed to escape by a secret passage through the king's room. The king agreed with the people from the balcony that he would return to Paris with his wife and his children. However, this was a fatal mistake, and it was the last time Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette ever saw the Palace of Versailles.
Finally, the most hated people in the entire revolution, King Louis XVI was about to be executed. This meant for now, life seemed just a little bit better for the people.
The atrocious royal couple was arrested in August 1792 by the sans-culottes. In September, the absolute monarchy that was torturing the peasants for decades was finally abolished by the National Convention. When all of the Louis intrigues with Austria and other foreign nations were discovered, he was put on trial.
The next January, Louis XVI was convicted and condemned to death. On January 21st, he walked to the guillotine and was executed. 9 months later, Marie Antoinette was convicted of treason, and on October 17, 1793, she followed her husband. After the death of the royal family, the Reign of Terror started. The conflict between Jacobin, peasants, workers, the Girondins, and nobles was unstoppable. Thousands of lives were taken, and the smell of blood hung in the air.
Whew! After all that revolution drama, soon Napoleon took over, but that story is saved for next time.